Greetings, this is Brother Dawood. I've been really having a hard time putting together this subject on was Master P paying homage to Tupac. I was trying to put this video out on the death anniversary of Tupac, which was September the 13th. I uploaded the video on Friday, but I quickly took it down. My reason for doing so, because it wasn't organized and I didn't want to do an injustice on the subject. I'm going to have to do a couple of parts pertaining to the subject because it's a lot to go into it. But anyway, back to my question. Was Master P paying homage to Tupac or was he copying him? I want to say, in my opinion, I believe that he was paying homage to him, and I'm going to give you my reason why. I feel that P really admired Pac. Before Tupac got on death row and before his death, No Limit made it their business to acknowledge or give him a shout out in their music. When was the first time Tupac ever was mentioned by No Limit or Master P on any of their discs? I might be wrong. I believe it was on the 99 Ways to Die King George Reverend Do Wrong skits. He said, "I know how you feel, Tupac Shakur, cause every time a black man makes some money or buy a Lexus or Cadillac, these broads want to take everything from you." But then slowly but surely, No Limit started giving Tupac shout outs and mentioning him in their music like crazy. But the first time was in 1995. I remember Master P talked about how him and C will tour with Tupac and open up for him. He said that they used to be on the road traveling, and I hope I'm not wrong with this whole thing. I believe it was Spice One who said Master P never seen or met Tupac in a day in his life. But there's a picture with Tupac and Master P in it. Master P is not necessarily close to Tupac in the picture, but he's in the same frame. I want to know what part of the No Limit timeline was this, because there's not really that much information on the time frame. And another question I want to strike is, how come Tupac wasn't on the West Coast Bad Boys Volume 1? We know Pac was in the Bay Area rocking at a particular time, but look, on this particular album, there was a great amount of Bay Area rappers on that project. You had the JT Bigger Figures, and you had Ray Love. I want to put this out there. Do any of y'all think that Ray Love influenced Tupac's style, or was it the other way around? You know, Ray Love and Pac was close. I think Ray Love was or is married to Tupac's sister. You know, they was homeboys and all. Matter of fact, Tupac directed Ray Love's Last Night song and video in a he directed the video and also starred in it, which was in 1993. I don't care what nobody say. If you listen to the beat of that song, it sounds similar to the OG version of When We Ride on Our Enemies by Tupac. But Ray Love appeared on the West Coast Bad Boys Volume 1. But my analysis of why Tupac wasn't on the West Coast Bad Boys Volume 1 because the title had the word Bad Boys in it. Now I'm only joking around. Let me stop joking around. No, but West Coast Bad Boys came out in 1994 of August. At this time, Tupac was in the East Coast, hanging out with the East Coast cats and all that up in New York. And he got shot in that same year, which is 1994, November the 30th. Sometimes I wonder if Master P reached out to him at this time to be a part of the West Coast Bad Boys compilation. Can you imagine if Tupac was on the Peace from the Streets video or had a song on the compilation? That would have been legendary. But Tupac was close to a lot of Bay Area rappers. So I don't actually know what was going on prior to the making of the West Coast Bad Boys compilation. But Master P toured with Tupac at a particular time. And Master P would say that while they was on tour, that they played everybody else music except their music. And that the fans and women would come up to him, asking him questions and things on Tupac whereabouts. If anybody had any knowledge of what time frame on the No Limit timeline this was when Tupac was touring with Master P, drop something in the comment section. Drop a comment. Now, I told you this is going to have to be a couple part series because it's so much to put in to this subject matter. Now back to that picture with Master P and Tupac. I remember people were saying things, because the picture came out like 2 years ago. They were saying things like, Master P really trying to show that he really knew Tupac. He put that picture out to bring home the validity that he knew Tupac. I already mentioned to you when the first time No Limit ever mentioned Tupac, and it was in that 99 Ways to Die album with King George skit. But when did Master P started using that Tupac flow? Tupac died September 13th, 1996. And before his death, No Limit or Master P was sending him shout outs and mentioning him in their music. I already mentioned the King George skit, but another time that he was mentioned was on the Cain and Abel's 7 Deadly Sins album on a track titled Black Jesus. Master P quoted Tupac by saying, "Only God could judge me, but I think only Black Jesus can help me." He also mentioned Tupac on the Ice Cream Man's album intro. He said, "Ninjas getting shot like Tupac, cause it's a East and West Coast thing." He was making a point or explaining what was going on at a particular time in the hip hop world and life in general. This is Master P. But when he talked about Tupac getting shot, he was talking about the Quad Studio incident that happened in 1994. It wasn't talking about the Reagan shooting because it hadn't happened as of yet, but it happened in 1996. That same year the Ice Cream Man album was dropped on April. And it would be 5 months later that Tupac would be killed in Vegas. But before the death of Tupac, a month exactly before it, the Shaka album dropped, August. There wasn't no mention of Tupac, but there was something that stood out. And that was the song No More Tears. What was ironic about the song was the hook. Those who was new No Limit fans or those who didn't know no better would react to say that on the hook that it was Tupac because of how he sound. You never heard Master P within that flow range of sounding similar to Tupac. I remember during the Bout It movie, when it really came out, people was flocking to No Limit because P was setting trends. You know, he put out the movie and the soundtrack independently. And if you go back and watch the Bout It movie, the scene where the kid Shoe Shine got killed, that song Ghetto Tears come on. I remember bringing my Bout It movie to my family house on the East Coast. My family and their friends was new to No Limit, so they was excited. But every time that scene on the movie comes up and that music was played, my family or their friends would say, I like that song with the guy in the booth, which was Silk the Shocker and Tupac. I gotta try to find that song. I'm like, that's not Tupac. On that video, on the movie, you could see Silk in the booth. He rapping, he moving his hands. He you know, rapping. You see him, you don't see Master P, but you hear his voice. So to them, that was Tupac from what they thought was him. But P hooked people with that movie though. He had songs in that movie that wasn't even on the soundtrack. The Ghetto Tears song wasn't on the Bout It album. The song Bout It wasn't on the soundtrack. The Mia X Down to Do Whatever wasn't even on the soundtrack. Matter of fact, the Down to Do Whatever was on the If I Could Change maxi single. And what other song? Down to Do Whatever. Matter of fact, if you go on the Bout It movie, you'll hear that song being played when that white car pulls up and somebody daps Master P and keep moving. And then the song Murder 187 and I Don't Give a What. It was on the scene where when Silk got kidnapped. So you had people that was new No Limit fans going out buying every No Limit album, buying all them No Limit albums just to find particular songs that wasn't on the soundtrack. I remember my cousin tripped out on the See Murder song. He tripped out on the Murder song, the murder 187, and I Don't Give a What. But let's go back to the song that stood out on the Bout It soundtrack, If I Could Change by Steady Marvin, which features Master P. He was in his beginning days of flowing with that nice flow that sounded similar to Tupac. And you have Master P family members or his cousins, the Gambino family, who track was titled Why They Wanna See Me Dead. Now, the Why You Wanna See Me Dead chorus was quoted from Tupac's song called Picture Me Rolling. Pac lines were, Federales wanna see me dead. They putting prices on my head. Now I got 2 rock wallets by my bed. Those lines was used for the chorus on that Gambino family song on the Bout It soundtrack. Oh, and another thing that stood out on the Bout It soundtrack was the Skullduggery song called Heat. He said, hoes know niggas with feelings get dropped. Who gives a damn that Pac been shot? To me, he just another ninja on the ninja block who got caught up and got popped. I remember those lines because it made me feel a certain way. And the climate was still sensitive at this time due to Pac's death. You know, this was a couple of months later. He quoted this verse after Pac died. So it was something. And I gotta go back to the True to the Game album. He gave Tupac a shout out on the No Limit Soldiers. I thought I told you. He gave him a shout out on that particular song. Plus, he gave him a shout out on Is There a Heaven for a Gangster? That was on the Rhyme and Reason soundtrack and on the True to the Game album. There's a difference because the one on the True to the Game album featured Silk and C Murder. But Tupac was all over that True to the Game album. He even mentioned him on that song, They Can't Stop Us. He said, it's 1997. My niggas going to heaven. Rest in peace, Tupac and Master P. Do what 211. He also mentioned him in a song called The Lord Is Testing Me. He said, my record went gold. My family started money tripping. I could look into those eyes of those ninjas that wanted to catch me slipping. They holler, don't go out like Tupac. Those be those same niggas try to fill you up with buckshots. That's what Master P said. And then he mentioned him on what's another song he mentioned him on? I'm trying to remember. It was on that same album. He said, "Don't go out like Tupac. They try to fill you up with buckshots." And Tupac was going. Oh yeah, on that song, I got it. The Final Ride. Master P said, "Tupac's gone, and what rapper's gonna be next? I hope it ain't me to get cash like a bad check." That was on the True to the Game album on a song titled Final Ride. But like I said on the other videos, 1997 was the breakthrough year for No Limit, and they released numerous albums that year. There's going to be a part 2 and a 3, maybe 4 on this subject because it's going to get really, intense. I'm going to touch on 3 more items for this video, and I'm going to end it. We're going to go to the Mr. Servon's Life Insurance album. Master P came off with that Tupac flow on the Heaven Is So Close track. And he touched the subject on what you call that social issues like Pac touch. He said, Bill Clinton, you gon' feel me. Taking welfare for ghetto children. That's something that Tupac would say. And he had that same flow. He had the flow, but he don't sound similar in voice wise. And what makes Master P so unique is because he filled in a void in hip hop. You had the death of Tupac and Biggie. And people might criticize, oh, he wasn't this, he wasn't that as a rapper. I think Master P dope because a lot of them songs that he did, he freestyled it. Mia X talked about how he used to just come in the studio and just bang out a track and keep it moving. But on that Heaven Is So Close, he killed it. And also on that same Life Insurance album, he had that song called, Servon had that song called My Best Friend Be My Lady. You my only homie, cause niggas act shady. And then he had the song, which was, I felt like was a tribute to Randall Watts, which is his cousin, Servon cousin, called Trying to Make It Out the Ghetto. Trying to make it out the ghetto. That was on that Life Insurance album. And then you had that Mystical Unpredictable album, a track titled Ghetto Child. And if you listen to the way Master P was flowing on that song, it put you on the mind of Tupac, because that, like I said before, they was touching social issues. And then you have the Scream 2 soundtrack. Master P participated on a song titled Scream. On this song, if you listen to it, he really put you in that state of mind of Tupac. Like, he admired, and I feel that Tupac is his idol, because if you listen to the lyrics on that song and the flow, like, he really got off on that. And I appreciate that piece. I really like that song. I used to bang that song a lot. And I'm going to end with this one right here. Master P biggest album, Ghetto Dope. He dropped 2 singles from off this album. The first one being Ghetto Dope, and the other one being I Miss My Homies. He didn't flow like Tupac on I Miss My Homies song, but he gave a shout out on the song to Tupac. And in the video, he had a person that was in the character of Tupac wearing a No Limit chain. And on the same Ghetto Dope album, he had a song called We Riders. If you listen to the chorus, if you want me, come get me. How the F you gonna take me? I got my real niggas with me and we riders. That sounds like something that Tupac could say too. I don't think he was copying him, so to say. I believe, like I said at the beginning, he was paying homage. But on that same song, he said, I got cocaine, weed, and amphetamines. Pac said, P, keep your eyes on your enemies. I ain't trusting no ninja or no bitch. That's the recipe in the hood for getting rich. And you had Mac that was featured on that same song too. But then you had that song called Only Time Could Tell if a nigga go to die to heaven to hell. If I die, I don't really want to go to hell though. You listen to that song, that's a whole Tupac influenced song. You know, I love that song because it puts you in the mind and the spirit of Tupac. You know, nobody can say that Master P didn't kill that song. He really killed it. And I'm gonna close out on this one right here. But, get ready for part 2. I'm going to that on No Limit and the other No Limit artists that Tupac influenced. And I know some of y'all going to view this video and say, you should have said this, you should have said that. That's why I'm saying it right now. It's going to be part 2 and 3 follow right behind this, because I'm going to really go into that, because Tupac really influenced a lot of No Limit artists. And y'all get ready and be on the lookout for part 2 and 3 of this. I'm gonna put it out immediately, maybe tonight or tomorrow. But enjoy the video, hit the like button, and subscribe to the page. And what Master P always say in his old music, I'm about to be out like an old school 500 XEL. But shalom, salams, Godspeed. Greetings, this is Brother Dawood. I've been really having a hard time putting together this subject on was Master P paying homage to Tupac. I was trying to put this video out on the death anniversary of Tupac, which was September the 13th. I uploaded the video on Friday, but I quickly took it down. My reason for doing so, because it wasn't organized and I didn't want to do an injustice on the subject. I'm going to have to do a couple of parts pertaining to the subject because it's a lot to go into it. But anyway, back to my question. Was Master P paying homage to Tupac, or was he copying him? I want to say, in my opinion, I believe that he was paying homage to him, and I'm going to give you my reason why. I felt that P really admired Pac. Before Tupac got on death row and before his death, No Limit made it their business to acknowledge or give him a shout out in their music. When was the first time Tupac ever was mentioned by No Limit or Master P on any of their discs? I might be wrong. I believe it was on the 99 Ways to Die, King George, Reverend Do Wrong skits. He said, "I know how you feel, Tupac Shakur, cause every time a black man makes some money or buy a Lexus or Cadillac, these broads want to take everything from you." But then slowly but surely, No Limit started